How is it going, everybody? Today we have kind of a cool video, especially if you're maybe a new EV owner, maybe your current charging situation is not the best. I have two very, very affordable EV chargers that I'm going to test out and answer a question. Now, you look at Ford, for instance, they're charging about $500 for their mobile charger. Tesla, I think, is $200 or $300 and no longer comes with the Tesla you buy for free. So with that said, a lot more people are shifting online to maybe buy a mobile charger online, and there's a ton of options. And some, let me just grab this guy, start as low as like $100 and the others go up to like $500. Now, we're not talking about actual wall units today or NEMA connections, that the NEMA 1450s that are going to be level 2 or higher. We're just talking about these portable standard houselet chargers that you could buy for, like I said, this one's about 200, or no, that one I just showed you is only like 100 and something. And then this guy I've been using, the Lectron, is just over 200. So what's the difference, and should you actually trust your, very expensive electric vehicle with a charger that for some reason costs half as much as all the other ones online? What's the catch? Well, we're going to find out today. Okay, so to recap this experiment, what we are going to do is just do an hour of charging on both chargers. We'll compare the stats. Obviously, we could be more scientific and we could be less, but we'll just do a solid hour. I'll time them both and we'll look at the stats. It's as easy as that. So I've drained the battery down to about 30%, like it just ticked down to 29, so it's as close to 30 as can be. I wanted to keep it on the lower range to do this test, just to give it all the chance not to throttle. Not that it usually throttles such a low power cable, but when supercharging, it actually does start to throttle the charging a little bit, around 40%, I believe, maybe 30. So that's why we're going to keep it low. We've talked about this charger, I believe. This could be like the sleeping winner for a lot of EV folks. If this ends up being okay, I'm willing to try it on my vehicle for you guys so you could check it out. But you never know, buying this is the cheapest charger you could get. So is it worth it? That's really what we're finding out today, in comparison to, it's not inside, but we'll look at it again in a second, the Lectron charger, which is a little more high-end, but honestly, very similar build quality. There's not much out readings you get here. Cheaper plastic, but the cable also thinner too. Not as high gauged wire, so we'll see the differences today. Let's go ahead and plug it in. All right, we are set for 1 hour here. As you can see, let's open up the car real quick. Oh, charging stats went away. There you go, kind of see them below. Not great so far. But granted, we're doing this in 24-degree weather. It's pretty cold out. And then I'm also running it through an extension cable before using it. But we're going to do the same exact settings for each charger, so keep that with a grain of salt. But man, 2 kilowatts is not great. Okay, we just wrapped up with the Shockflo, hitting about an average of 2 kilowatt per hour like we saw. Probably the cold having something to do with that. Because I'd say, well, that was my first time using this. Usually I do use this Lectron unit, and I've gotten around 4 or 5 kilowatts while charging out of this guy. So I do think, though, we'll see this performing similarly just because it's the cold weather or who knows what. But we'll find out very shortly because this one is next. Just wanted to show you real quick the difference in thickness between the cables. It's little things like that. The quality of the chargers, you know, this one just seems like a tiny bit better build quality. So you are getting like some nicer strain relief here versus this one's a little rubbery and not built like this. So tiny things like that will probably lead you to wanting maybe to lean towards this kind of mid-level-ish, I'd call it, because this is about $220, I believe, and then this is almost $100 cheaper. So hey, just wanted to cut in while editing because I was re-looking up the prices for these. The Lectron charger has gone down to like only $170, $180, and the Shockflo was $120 and now it's $160. So the Shockflow's gone up and the Lectron's gone down to the point where like these are very close in price. And all said and done, I'd lean more towards the Lectron if I were you. But if you find the Shockflo for you know, a discount, or you just want to save a couple bucks, you can't go wrong with that one either. So just wanted to cut in here because I was saying different prices in the video. That's all. Obviously this thing does serve a purpose. It charges, it works just fine. It's probably great to throw in the back of your car for emergencies if you want like an extra one. But you know, just overall quality wise, I wouldn't charge with this every day. But if you did, I don't think you'd have a problem by any means. It's totally fine. It's just, I could see you dropping the charger and the plastic breaking, or I guess you could on this one too though. So take it as you will. Overall, this is totally fine, did its job, but let's see how much better, if at all, this cable will perform charging the Tesla Model X. Yep, just plugged the other one in here and I am getting the exact same power that we got on the other charger. So it's a good sign for the cheaper Shockflo, but we'll keep an eye on this over time and be back in 1 hour. Well, it's been 1 hour with the other one with the basically the exact same stats, it seems. So I guess that concludes it. Go ahead and disconnect this bad boy. Okay, let's get into my final thoughts on these chargers real quick. So, as you saw, performance-wise, there was virtually no difference at all. Now, obviously, there's three choices we have here. It's one, your Tesla probably came with the charger, so if you're that person, you know, you're probably looking at maybe a backup charger. And if that's the case, just go with the cheap one. If you're not using it every day and you're just keeping it in your car for an emergency or whatever, I mean, it comes with a pretty nice case here, and I can't find a single reason not to use it other than longevity wise. If you're using it every day, I just don't know if it would hold up as well as to something that's a little more expensive like this Lectron unit. So with that in mind, those would be your two options. Again, this one just a little plasticky, and like I said, I'm afraid if I dropped it without this rubber weather sealing on it, I could see the charger itself cracking. You never know. I didn't have any issues like that, but I could just see in the long run maybe something not working as well. There's small other perks to buying one like this Lectron unit, like you have more indicator lights to let you know what's going on, where this one is just, yes, it's charging, or uh-oh, you have a problem, which in reality, you probably only need that. So all said and done, this one is actually pretty impressive, I'd say, for the price. But again, I don't know if I'd use it every day for charging. This one, however, I have been using every day for charging because I don't have my level 2 charger installed quite yet. So once my level 2 charger is installed, I'll probably, you know, throw this in the back of my car as like an emergency charger, and then use the level 2 unit as my daily charger. And then this guy, I'll just probably hold on to for emergencies. But if you're shopping around, I'd say don't hesitate to go with maybe a budget option or something right in the middle. Anyway, I hope that this, I guess, rough comparison here helped you maybe a little bit in your charging adventure, we'll call it. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'll see you guys later. Bye.